So this was originally going to be a video showing how to replace the water pump in this thing until I found more issues. So now we'll be doing not only the water pump and water pump housing, but also the timing belt and yet again another new tensioner. So now after this discovery video, I will be doing a complete timing belt water pump tensioner video in a separate video after this one. Here's what I was talking about with the timing belt cover, or timing belt. See all that movement? And then it's even worse over here. Hard to show. Can't get my damn hand down in here. See all that play? Now it's tight down there where it wraps around the crank and where the tensioner is pushing against it. But I got excessive play on both of these, and watch this. This is the water pump pulley. I'm spinning that by hand. You should not be able to do that. So I don't know if this brand new tensioner I put on here has already failed, or if my belt has stretched, or what. So yay, more work for me. I'm gonna take this thing off again like I did the old one when I was trying to figure out how I skipped time. And like I said a few videos back, the old one seemed good because it had a lot of tension when I tried to compress it, but then after I put it back on after compressing it, then it had some slop and play in it. So I knew the tensioner was bad. So I'll guess do the same thing to this one, see if it does anything like that, and if not, and honestly, just as a precaution anyways, I think I'm going to be replacing this belt. I mean, the rubber's still soft, it's not cracked or anything. I thought somebody had replaced it because this car has 138,000 miles on it. No way that's the original timing belt, at least not with it being that soft and rubbery. It had to have been replaced, but it might have stretched. Because, I mean, unless this brand new tensioner failed, then that's the only thing left. I just got lucky, didn't blow itself up. Last time we were 3 teeth off on both cams. And it was running like crap, and I was hearing some metallic sounds where the valves were probably just barely touching the pistons at low RPMs. I shut it off because I knew something was wrong. I had this out driving around full throttle, no problems whatsoever, ran great, no weird sounds. So I don't think it skipped time yet, but it's close. I'm going to check it anyways. I'll show how to do that here in a second. There's lines to mark up, so if it only skipped a tooth, I might not have noticed the difference. But so in hindsight, it's actually a really good thing I'm tearing this thing back down again to replace the water pump, because if I wasn't, I would not have found that I got an extremely loose timing belt, and I probably would have blew it up. Alright, so the good news is, did not skip time. Right there's a little mark. I got it highlighted from the last time. It'll line up with that notch there. You can see it's a little past. More on that in a second. This one's harder to show, so I'm not going to worry about it, but it's the same deal back here. You got a little notch in the cam gear and a little notch there on the edge of the valve cover where it lines up. So as I said, you can see I'm a little past there. I went just a little too far. And then down here, the mark, it's real hard to see, especially since it's rusted and whatnot, but there's a little divot right there, right on the tip of my fingernail, right past this pin. Okay, and this is difficult to show from here, it's supposed to line up. Where are we at? I gotta see that you guys can see. Anyways, it's supposed to line up with that mark back in there, so I'll change the video settings so you can see it better. And you can see it's just a little bit past as well, and that's because we went just a hair too far. But that's just a hair past, and those cam gears up there are just a hair pass. So if I didn't go just a hair past, they would all be lining up. So we did not skip time yet. However, something interesting happened. I turned it, and now she's tight as heck. Now it's got, I mean, it's tight. There's barely any play on both sides. Hard to see because it's dark down in there. But yeah, now she's real nice and tight. But you know what I noticed? This came out more. I'll put a before and after up. Thankfully, I caught the position of this prior when I was saying, hey, look how loose this is of that piston there in the video. So I'll put a before and after. So before, it was about half that far out. And then now, after I turned it, now it's pushed out twice as far, and that's why the belt is tight now. So that to me says that this freaking tensioner bled out pressure while sitting, and that's why that belt was super loose. So you could say, oh well, you know, while it's running it's going to tighten up so everything's good, right? No, because actually that initial startup, that immediate torque from your starter, spinning the motor over from literally 0 to real fast real quick, if anything, that's going to make it more likely for it to slip teeth. I'm going with the tensioner again, so that's also a lesson there why you don't buy you know, the cheapest parts you can get, which this wasn't, you know, especially on something that is crucial to whether or not your car will blow up or not run at all or whatever. You know, I didn't buy the cheapest one, and I bought the one that had the freaking heart on it, which was supposed to mean, oh, that's one of the preferred choices, because it was half the price of the Aisin and less than half the price of a Gates, I think. But yeah, I'm going with this thing. I mean, clearly it's twice as far out now as what it was, so it just bled off pressure while it was sitting there and caused this to be really loose, which is really bad for startup. We're lucky we didn't skip time and screw anything up, so I'm going to be sending this back and getting a better one. And I think while I'm at it, because I'm tired of this back and forth gambling crap with this, I'm just going to go ahead and replace the timing belt too, because heck, maybe that's a little stretched out and that's not helping matters either. So I'm just going to, we'll do another new tensioner, and I got to pay twice as much, and I probably got to pay return shipping now. I don't know. I'm just going to get a new belt while I'm at it too. I can't take any chances with this thing. You skip more than a couple teeth and you're looking at serious engine damage, if not completely destroying the thing. So that's fun. I'm getting really tired of all the surprises with this car, but like I said, it's actually luck, because if I didn't find that and correct it, you know, if it wasn't for the fact that I'm replacing this water pump because it's still puking coolant, I wouldn't have found that, and it would have eventually skipped time on us, you know, best case scenario, if not skipped so much that it blew up. So I guess the other half of this video will be doing the whole timing belt. Jesus. So as I said at the beginning of this video, once I get my parts in, we'll be doing a video on doing the complete timing belt kit, the water pump, timing belt, tensioner, all that good crap.